What is going on YouTube? This is Acid Root. So I'm going to review the fourth studio album and first full-length Christmas album by Gwen Stefani. Basically, this product is called You Make It Feel Like Christmas, and it came out in the fall of 2017. Now, within the fair about it here, this is a blistering type album within pitch like that. Excellent type fairs to get Gwen Stefani knocking out of the park a particular hit holiday and Christmas album as far as these fairs are going to have within the pitch. Now, this is the particular fair, this being her fourth album pitch, just like that. She took a decent break in like the early 2010s and the mid 2010s pitch like that. She came back with her third album, which I have reviewed by this stage, but it's probably not going to surface for a decent Gwen Stefani's third solo album. This is what the truth feels like from 2016. It's probably not going to surface for quite some time within these fairs, possibly quite and pretty deep into 2026 or further pitch like that. But some good type fairs. This is a good nice one to get here within these aspects. Gwen Stefani nails the appeal of having Christmas albums pitches like that. So some good type fairs within the pitch behind it. 6 new songs on this album, 6 songs that are cover songs pitched like that. So within the fair, as far as saying some of these type aspects within it, has some good type appeals. Gwen Stefani continues her strengths of being able to nail singles just in a new Christmas type format, which is actually interesting that she had not dropped any sort of Christmas related type material up to this point way out in 2017 as far as these fairs going to have them good pitches like that. So it's kind of fair as far as saying not like that being a problem, but just within the aspect as far as saying kind of it would have been possibly thought within the format, especially back in like what, no doubt was pretty ubiquitous back in 1995, 96 when they were on their Tragic Kingdom runs and those type pitches, that there would have been some holiday type material pitches like that, or even like the early 2000s days of like the singles 92 through 2003, so those type fairs. Just some good type pitches, but yeah, Gwen Stefani's had some capital type appeal. She continues that hit trend, just knocks out these particular songs within the fair behind it, just the aspect of continuing. Now, you may not see the 2016 review like I was saying that I did for This Is What the Truth Feels Like for quite some time, but what I said in that particular review is kind of like a primer to what you're going to eventually see with that one. It's just the pitch as far as saying that when Gwen Stefani returned way out in 2016, which was a decade later after the Sweet Escape album from 2006, it was kind of fair that she continued to have hit albums that were pretty trendy within those times. The same sort of pitch on here is the pitch behind it, that these new songs have the aspect. It's just a good type snag. The fair about this album has some good type snap out within the pitches. The new songs kind of blur the lines and kind of blend in with like the songs from like familiar traces of Christmas lore, like the 40s, 50s, 60s, and further back. Some of those type ones are probably even from the 1800s, like Jingle Bells. Now, it's not. I realize within the aspect behind it, as far as saying the notoriety behind the songs, whether or not they would have like the entirety of the ubiquitous type feel, but this is a very excellent type album. It's going to get a 10 out of 10 pitch like that within these ordeals, but this is kind of the pitch as far as saying, that's kind of the fair I know, as I've reviewed quite a few Christmas albums across these past few years, 2023, 2024, 2025 pitch like that, 70 type ordeals, but it's kind of pitch as far as saying, just look into the product. I don't know if you have to specifically listen to like holiday radio stations to be able to pick up some of these type ordeals, but it just kind of feels like the fair apart. I still feel like one of the most notable Christmas songs out of like probably the past several years, maybe Michael Bublé in certain senses has some of that relative popularity in terms of like the distinction behind it. But in terms of pitches, thinking about particular fairs of numerous type ones, there's not as many type ones within the pitch as far as this familiarity that kind of goes along with this. It does feel like within the aspect, I do question paying attention to Gwen Stefani with You Make It Feel Like Christmas, the single, as far as those fairs going to happen. It was the top 34, it was the top 35, 34 single on the U.S. Holiday 100 pitch like that, so it seemed to have gotten some degree of appeal, and on the Billboard 100 it was the top 50 single, so it's kind of the pitch as far as saying, there's so many type folks that drop Christmas albums, Justin Bieber, Kelly Clarkson, Destiny's Child, folks like that, some of these type folks in particular aspects like that, Ariana Grande, Gwen Stefani, is kind of the pitch of just questioning why some of these type ones just don't get in like, television commercials and fairs like that within the aspects behind it. It just kind of sticks with like the more 50s, 60s kind of traditions or further within pitch like that, but it's this kind of aspect, minus that particular facet, I would still say within the blistering type of feel, it's a very classic type album within the pitch, just like the notoriety that kind of goes along with that. Good example of Gwen Stefani being able to nail like some new Christmas songs and have the appeal behind it that's pretty melodic and fairs like that, so this nails the appeal. There's been a number of deluxe editions to this album, so I am going to review another one, the 2018 deluxe edition, which had 6 new songs. The 2018 deluxe edition I'll likely review for Christmas 2026 as far as these pairs going to have with like a series of new songs, and there's also some further type ones. There's been some excellent further enhancements. I'm not going to get like 2 or 3 or 4 Christmases ahead, but just to understand the fact there's going to be some further Gwen Stefani within this particular album fairs like that. So it's good type pitch numbers, like good bounty of new songs pitched like that, but for now I'm going to review the 12 song edition pitched like that. So within those fairs, 2 singles off this album. released on this particular edition. One is a new song, and one of which is a cover song from the Fairs behind it. So the new song is "You Make It Feel Like Christmas," the title track with Blake Shelton. With Blake Shelton, as far as these pairs, gonna have an excellent type pitch. It's like a good chummy kind of typical holiday brush to kind of get within these pairs, but this jury, but lots of grin as far as these pairs gonna go. This kind of aspect as far as saying, so it's just kind of a get along type song within a pitch. It just like that tradition, just kind of more gray skies and just kind of not so much dull. This feels like the more kind of music and work shift kind of fatigue as far as what's going to happen, just to miss like the fair, like the typical kind of just aspect, like the frosty of like a typical kind of November and December type fair pitch like that. Sounds like fairs within it. Definitely needing some Southern Comfort TLC pitch like that. Some of these type of deals with the aspects as far as these pitch can happen, but just looking after it, it's kind of the fair. It's kind of chipper of a song just with an aspect. It has like that jury type feel, but it's just kind of aspect of kind of quality grin type factor, just grin type factor separating the business from the personal type fair as far as this pitch can happen. So just to miss the aspect, just kind of middle fingered over here and hugs to over here as far as these pitch can happen. So just the aspects as far as saying, but just looking after the tone as far as this pitch can happen, just within the aspect, just within the tone. But yeah, good holiday song pitches like that. Just good, just good straightforward kind of steadfast kind of music as far as this pitch can happen. But excellent type pitches, just good familiar flavors and good pitches kind of have like the aspect of like some holiday bite and pitches like that. So excellent type word deals. Then Santa Baby, a cover song, is the second single off this project. Some good type fairs about it. It's like a nice rhythmic kind of foot tap and lounge type song, kind of get within the aspects just familiar to that particular song within the first place of a good fairs. Kind of a wide, long face type song and have bells in mind for asking those questions within the pitch behind it. Products of that, just some holiday spoils got to have nearby pitches. Some of those type fairs, obviously things like gingerbread men or something within these aspects, kind of keep the spark of it kind of within the fair. Just for lounge type fair, just something that to kind of iron out the gripes. So this particular album has the aspect of just pretty much feeling like the business side of things, or just the aspect of like the tradition type fair, like the holiday bustle, kind of has a little bit more weighing, not so much full bound on Gwen Stefani's shoulders, but just to miss the pitch, just as far as like the conduct of just getting tired of like the stress that kind of goes along with it, pitch like that. So it's kind of fair, just good song to have divas kind of ramble out to, pitch like that, just kind of ordeal as far as saying this. Basically get it all out of your system, pitch like that within those ordeals, probably aspects can happen, but just the pitch as far as just the product of it. This is kind of, it's not quite as syrupy as usual, that particular song, for not to say it's not syrupy within pitch, but this has a little bit more, not to say full, and not to say it has cheek like the aspect of having like tude kind of like, bitchy kind of quality, but it's just kind of pitch. This has a little bit more, has a little bit more zazz to it than within the typical type aspect within the pitch. I mean, it's just when you fuck with the song, and when you see new renditions of the song, you start to notice in these pitches, not like that's a problem. This is an excellent type song, like all the covers. Ariana Grande did good. Some of these other type starlets did excellent with this song as well. It was this good type pitch to have that particular fair. So good type pitch for some of those type ones. Just once again, holiday spoils, ramble, get it out your system, pitch like that, some of those type fairs. But look after it. See, I recommend all 12 songs off this album, the standard edition, the 2017 edition, so 10 out of 10 album pitches like that, just when the fair's about it. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about the other 5 new songs, then we'll get to the other 5 cover songs within these pitches. So Under the Christmas Lights is a nice one. This is a new song here. It's like some homebound tidying and Yuletide kind of spare. The hit song Under the Christmas Lights is a nice one, as well as like some homebound tidying to get and Yuletide kind of spares, I say, with the aspects of it here. Just classic kind of holiday feels about this. So it's just kind of fair, like the patience that goes along with that, the traditional type aspect of waiting for Christmas. Some of these type of ordeals with the facet, just kind of that kind of foot tap, just kind of foot tap kind of back and forth within some of this up here. It's just kind of a typical kind of gusty and just overall gray out kind of just typical holiday day. Some of these type pitches great for like, December 15th, December 2nd, November 28th. Some of these type fairs just when the pitch it, just more homebound type fair. So there are some aspects about it that, like, there are songs. It's not to say this album doesn't have the step out type songs, but it's a good type pitch. Some of these original type ones convey like the aspect of like the holiday season. So another good aspect to get some of these type ones and just getting some new era type ones. I mean, in a lot of senses, you kind of get to the realization. I question what Christmas songs are going to be like by the time you get to like the 2030s and further. Some of these type the 2030s and further, some of these type pitches of thinking of like what hit kind of quality Christmas carols are going to be from 2003 and 2012, 2014, some of these type ordeals, 1995, some of these type pitches with the aspect as far as just the tradition of it. As more time starts to go along with these, some good type pitches kind of pick up on the aspect of just some of that particular flavor. So it's just new era type stuff, works within the appeal behind a good homebound type one for just tidying up the house, Yuletide kind of energy pitches like that, good fairs about it. Christmas Eve is a nice one on here. It's like a sobering and beleaguered kind of winter gaze to get within these products as far as the aspects can go. Just some gray makeshift kind of passage, I'd say here. Need like a latte, some of those type fairs, just something kind of spruce things up. Just good song to simp to. Another kind of one to pour out a little bit. Let the Gwen Stefani is definitely a woman that you want to simp for, pitches like that. So it's this kind of aspect. If you enjoy and have an excellent skill aspect for simping, pitch like that, it's a good one to kind of let the simp skills kind of go with some of these type pitches. Now it's not to say, okay, this is just the simp song, I'm going to simp on this particular song. It's just kind of pitch, just having that simping product to kind of go along with some of these type fairs, just with an aspect of like the fair about the song as far as those fair. There's just some jury ones on here, like particularly My Gift Is You, Never Kissed Anyone with. There's some jury kind of beleaguered type ones on here, like Christmas Eve, Never Kissed Anyone with Blue Eyes, and When I Was a Little Girl, My Gift Is You. Most of these new songs are kind of aspect of having that particular jury and just kind of more gray, kind of commonplace about them. So it's kind of pitched as far as saying this spark up, know your memes, and good particular simp type aspect, good pitch, so just from the tone. Not to say it's just the only thing, but just pitches like that, some stuff fairs. Never Kissed Anyone with Blue Eyes is nice on here as well. It's like an excellent kind of early 90s kind of throwback, I'd say. Pitch like that definitely reminds me of like No Doubt from 92, 95. Like the Beacon Street Collection, No Doubt from 1992, self-titled, Tragic Kingdom, some of these type pitches. This feels very ska-like, some of those type fairs, very pier-bound, some of these type aspects. Something out of California, just more beach-bound pitches like that, surfs up type fair. It's kind of some day scenery you kind of appreciate. So it's a little bit of miss to say, not as much full bound as if it has to be holidays, but this kind of aspect. Kind of more home plate, kind of holiday type music, kind of the same way that Smash Mouth did like their holiday album pitch like that, but it's just some good type fare for just that particular aspect, just beach. Definitely good flavor that takes it back to like 1994, 1997, some of those type pitches within a good flavor about it. When I Was a Little Girl is a nice one as well within these aspects, like some cute nostalgia to get and good sun gaze kind of have here pitches like that, just some songs like some Long Day Yawns, I'd say within these aspects, just enjoy like the snow and pitches like that, some of these type fares. Some good stuff to kind of see within the aspects as far as these pitch can have, and just within the tone of just like reflect and just things like that within the tone. It's just a good type pitch. Just appreciate like the weather's great, throw a snowball, appreciate the snow a little bit within those particular fairs, have like some sort of holiday cookie or something like that out within the abouts behind it. It's kind of the aspect of just kind of good holiday kind of embellished, just kind of. It's an excellent kind of nostalgic type song pitch like that within these fairs as far as just like throwback kind of vibe. It's an excellent kind of reflect song pitch like that, but it's good to throw in like the particular holiday kind of embellished pitches like that. Sometimes that fairs to just remember, it's Christmas season, holiday season. Let's keep the jostle of it going, pitch like that. My Gift Is You is nice on here as well. Good aspects, like a good new era companion with Santa Baby, I'd say within these aspects. It's kind of a lounge hit to get here. 60s radio kind of sting, it kind of reminds me of pitch like that. I can't think of the particular song, but just one of those type ones. It's not Walking on Sunshine, but one of those type ones that kind of has. It also feels like a Beautiful Girls by Sean Kingston, but that's a song that samples like the sort of shit from like the 50s, 60s, some of those type fairs within those aspects. But can't really think of like the full bound type one. Yeah, it just came to me. I remember it now. Stand By Me, one of those type pitches. A song like I don't know if Stand By Me is from the 60s or 70s, some of those type pitches. Feels like Stand By Me, and like that other one I said, Walking on Sunshine, some of those type fairs, the 60s kind of radio sting pitch, like that. Good song to have like some beers nearby, some of those type aspects, keep the spice by it. So I haven't talked as much full bound. It's kind of within the pitch, realizing Gwen Stefani within the aspect, I think she does kind of have some of that within the fair, but as far as like the pitch, it probably the aspect of it being within every single song, the pitch behind it. It's kind of aspect as far as saying there's just more kind of tones, as if it's just a good nice one to kind of appreciate like some good kind of mud house kind of lounge type music, just with an aspect like some like open mic type fair pitch like that, karaoke night within certain aspects. But yeah, just good excellent kind of romantic smoke. But yeah, like I was saying within the pitch, just whether or not the full bound kind of consistent kind of get tore up type product would kind of be on here. This kind of pitch, I mean, it's a more vanilla type holiday album within pitch. I mean, the Kelly Clarkson one I reviewed recently kind of had the fare of a little bit more spice, and it's not to say this doesn't have it, but it's kind of the pitch of just the tradition type aspect of kind of more having hands full with this like. This one just has a little bit more personal type fare within the pitch as far as like, is that really on your mind? Like, 100%, 90% of the time pitch like that, just to have that be first kind of reflexive, kind of get tore up within pitch. It's not to say it's not full bound on here. There's some moments like Jingle Bells, Let It Snow, Santa Baby, some of these type of ones. I want to say like Last White Christmas and certain type fairs pitches like that, but just within the aspect as far as saying the particular tone about it, it's just a little bit more chiseled within the resolve of like the more gallivants. It's just that it's not to say it's not social, but it's just kind of more personal within the sense. It's just the aspect kind of say it's not a product on it. It's not a problem. Don't have a problem with it, but this is the pitch for us, and it's this product to kind of know going in. But to talk about some of these cover type songs pitched like that, so Jingle Bells, real nice one on here is like a good wintry commerce and sightsee to kind of get within these products here. Just holiday lights and activity as far as these products can go. Just some outing kind of eggnog to throw in within the pitch. Just kind of the outing type fare about it. Kind of whether or not eggnog can kind of go out in public or if that's just a more homebound type drinks kind of the pitch as far as saying, but just the product as far as getting towards like the aspect of this feels like one of those type ones where you would have to take the wheel and have some aspects as far as just like commandeering like the day fair, going for like a round of activities kind of within the complex, having to do some things with the aspect like the date afternoons and just the shopping spree. Some of these type fairs within the pitch like the standard tradition activity pitch like that, and like the holiday season was kind of fair as far as saying still think enough of this particular aspect within like the spice of it kind of is a good type fair to throw in some of these type moments if it's gonna be consistent, get some eggnog in there. So it's this kind of pitch as far as saying obviously within the legality of it, but just good pitches like that. Let It Snow is a hit type one. Now, this is a good 1-2 punch with Jingle Bells. I definitely say here a good showy kind of combo with Jingle Bells. Like I was saying, just quality kind of jazzy, pleasant kind of city scene. I'd say good pitch like that is good for dates. Some of those type fairs, date nights aspects like that within the pitch behind it. Hands full type fair, dismissed aspect of a good popular kind of embellished pitches like that within the fairs that just like not so much full bound busy to the point where it's frantic and pitches like that, but just kind of missed the aspect just like it's not as much of a time waste type song, kind of twiddling your thumbs or some things like that as far as like the aspect like the tone would kind of happen just with like this good healthy powder like some holiday kind of day and mid-late day activity pitches like that within those ordeals to dismiss the scenery of it, getting some good showing kind of jazziness going pitches like that. Silent Night's a nice one within these aspects as well. It's like a crisp wind chill. Silent Night's a nice one on here as well. It's like a crisp kind of wind chill and frost to get within these aspects here. Just basic kind of vanilla holiday cheer to get within the tones behind it. Just zone out and like good song to zone out a bit. Just kind of mellow out from like the dredge, like the particular day aspect. Just kind of some Muzak dusks as far Silent Night's just kind of some Muzak dusks as far as those pros can have. So just within the pitch as far as saying this, the aspect is one of those traditional type ones that you do hear. This is a pretty commonplace type song, obviously with an aspect of knowing that particular song within the pitch, but it's the fair as far as just like the new rendition of it by Gwen Stefani's good excellent pitches here. Just she does this good basic shopping mall, strip mall kind of music to hear past 6 o'clock p.m. pitch like that. But nowadays within these fairs, most things just within the tradition of it are kind of not open past like 10 o'clock or so p.m. pitch like that. It's not quite as commenting within the pitch of being able to hear some of these type ones like Silent Night at like 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the morning. But this kind of pitches whether or not gas stations would pick up some of these type fairs or just pitch like that. But this kind of aspect as far as saying pretty vanilla kind of holiday cheer type song within the pitch, but just the aspect behind it, just like the original type song, some of these type pitches, just you get, this has the appeal and nails it as far as those pitches can have, so that's nice. White Christmas is a quality one as well. It's like a good neighborhood. White Christmas is like a good neighborhood chefing and dick around type song within these aspects, as far as the tone's going to have in just traditional kind of holiday white noise, I'd say pitches like that. So this particular song goes along pretty well with Under the Christmas Lights as far as these pairs can have just some time waste to kind of get within the aspect, this Yuletide kind of song within the pitch, or just kind of anticipating like the holiday aspect and the tones behind it is kind of the fair disc. Particularly watching snowfall, just the aspect appreciating like the wind chill and like standard kind of snowy wintry type activities pitch like that, but it's kind of missed the fair. When I say chefing, it's making like, frosted pretzels, some of these type aspects, extra type fairs within the pitches, of just having like that holiday kind of pizzazz about it, just extra kind of things, wrapping presents, or just within the aspect, just further type products to kind of have some good toasty kind of coziness going pitches like that. Just pretty good streaming bleed also. Less smoky than Santa Baby, was still good quality. Still a good cozy type classic pitches like that with no ordeals about it. I'm trying to think if there's other type ones. I think the last one I haven't talked about on here is Last Christmas. Last Christmas is a nice one. Last Christmas reminds of like 4 in the morning and It's My Life by Gwen Stefani. Good pitch like that, no doubt. Some of that fair is like a dreary but cozy kind of salmon sky kind of outings pitch like that. So this is just one a little bit more within the fair compared to like some of these type ones. Like when you think of a song like Christmas Eve, though, is just a little bit more harrowed pitch like that. It's just more amidst like the drear of like almost boredom, but just kind of more of the sogginess of just like malaise about it. It's just more fatigue more so than it is full-bound boredom and just kind of anguish within the pitch. Just kind of aspect, just kind of that particular, this kind of belated kind of just 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock p.m. or moreover 4 o'clock in the holiday season, November, December. Just miss the pitch where the sun is kind of setting, just kind of pink out. Some of those type fairs, but it's kind of the aspect of traditional kind of Gwen Stefani, and no doubt kind of drew within the aspects of just something to listen to probably past like the day break of like the day fair pitches like that, as far as those fairs, something after 3 o'clock p.m. but probably not as late as like 6:30, 7:30 pitches like that when it's really dark out. Some of those type fairs, but it's the pitch behind it, just some pleasant kind of traffic, just cozy kind of salmon cozy kind of salmon and pink sky pitches like that. Just standard kind of drear and work shift push, I'd say. That's the aspect about the sounds. So pitch like that, 10 out of 10 album within these tones behind it. Social score is going to go ahead and get, now within the fair, it's going to get a 10 out of 10. Just the banner typeness, the appeal. Gwen Stefani's pretty mainstream and household name. Pitch like that has been for over 30 years. Some of these type of aspects, kind of the tone as far as saying. But look after here, just be able to say the only aspect is just questioning like the full bound popularity. Now this album has been re-released within these fairs. It's an excellent type of aspect getting these particular products. I think it does have the capital appeal pitches like that. The lead single off this product, You Make It Feel Like Christmas, has over 300 million plays on Spotify, so that accounts for something, I'd have to say. So it's a good jangle of some of this, but like I said, it's just kind of more personable life type fare within the pitch. It's more missed the aspect of like the social score about this album is going to get a 10 out of 10 pitches like that. Just the aspect of this being more of a personal type album that kind of deals with like the straightening of getting past like the malaise, like the business fair and pitches like that. Just getting some ironings out and going and kind of realigning as far as these pitch albums. This kind of aspect as far as saying, paying attention like the particular product. This the aspect, not a super ton of moments for like it, just with the aspect like normal within these fairs, I would mention things, obviously like the Taco Bell runs and like fairs like that, some of these type pitches, the aspect of like hitting up like some fast food junks pitches like that, going to Subway or Quiznos, some of these type tones, Jimmy John's, some of these type aspects within the tone, Popeye, some of these type places, was kind of aspects, not to say full bound, it's not within the variety as far as it, but this kind of is just more within the aspect to kind of concentrate on like the aspect of just getting past like the hump of like the beleaguerment that kind of goes along with this. Not to say like that's a full bound issue, it's just a pitch as far as saying it's just the product of kind of having hands full in terms of more homebound type of issue as far as this person goes. It's just a pitch as far as saying getting the irons out, kind of taking care of the aspect of some sightsee along the way within these pitches, kind of aspect, a little bit of like particular products like some holiday lights, some of these type fairs within it, occasional kind of night bar or something like that, this mud house type place where you would see like some open mic and fairs like that within these pitches, kind of with an aspect, some homebound kind of cooking, making cookies, making peppermints, some of these type tones with an aspect, making pretzels, fairs like that, gingerbread houses, some of these type fairs kind of pitch, a little bit of homebound personal type bit, but it's kind of aspects as far as saying it's kind of a more gray and malaise type album within pitch, but it's kind of the products as far as saying that the aspect behind it, just kind of within that fashion. The main fair about this album is I think it needs like a pretty ravenous type shot in the arm of like something to really just get your house knocked upside down like a tornado to pitch like that as far as these sort of deals can happen. Definitely something just to say, things that whether or not full bound Gwen Stefani would cooperate with getting, entirely shit faced off of Hypnotic and some of these type fairs with an aspect of some of these type tones, Hypnotic and Bacardi, some of these type aspects. Not to say full bound is just turn every situation in that particular fair, but just the pitch of this and the extra additional type fairs of this kind of, it feels like within the standard loop of the cycle it makes it, but it's just also kind of the pitch of just like it's just a very factory and kind of more doldrums kind of traditional type album with the pitch. It's not to say like that's a problem. It's just kind of pitch as far as saying, paying attention within some of the fairs. It's like, yeah, you can see like the recommendations just kind of coming in like good 5, 6, 10 of these within aspects for it. Not to say full bound like I'm going to go down the list every single one, take another 30 minutes, but it's the pitch as far as saying just some of these type ones, even if you could think most of them would probably have to do with smokes or drinks or, Taco Bell or something like that, was kind of pitched as far as saying just the extra conduct as far as saying there's just a lot of great type fairs about it, and it's just kind of pitched as far as saying Gwen Stefani is usually a pretty spiffy and fun type girl within these pitches, so it's just kind of fair to just question what kind of caught her jubilance and kind of a snafu as far as those pitch comes. Just the aspects for saying about it. Look after paying attention to songs like Just a Girl, paying attention to songs like Rich Girl, some of these type ones kind of pitches. Just question where some, it's just the aspect, not to stay full bound, but just kind of pitch as far as saying some of those type ones thinking from Love Angel Music Baby, songs like The Sweet Escape, some of those type ones, within the pitch. It's good aspects just being able to say, look after it. So in terms of the future, like within the pitch, Gwen Stefani dropped a holiday. In terms of future, Gwen Stefani dropped an album in the fall of 2024, pitch like that, some good type ordeals. I pretty much wrapped up everything, but no doubt you're going to see these reviews by them down the road as far as these pitch can happen. Minus Icon from 2010, I still need to get to that one as of this point. Now, I've reviewed like 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 more Gwen Stefani products that are eventually going to surface fairs like that. Just stay tuned for some of those type ones, but in terms of like, this is probably one of the few type ones I have left, with the exception of like the deluxe editions of this particular album. You Make It Feel Like Christmas. Apart from those deluxe editions and then like a couple more products and maybe an unofficial product or two, that basically wraps it up for the most part for Gwen Stefani. Good pitch like that, but this is a classic here. Being able to say pitch like that, excellent type ordeals. It's a good staple, new era kind of holiday classic with some good type ordeals, some Christmas carols that really work. Definitely get to simping, get some good products about some of these type ones. Get some donuts and holiday movies busted out. Some of those type fairs, good pitches like that.